We lie.
We've got a 1,005 at the moment.
Alright, all sorts of problems here. Nothing's loading.
Right, Dan, you should talk quickly about this magical engine, this editor. What do you actually call this coded magic we got here?
This is RK, or Rockets Engine.
Rockets Engine.
Rockets Engine.
It's pretty cool, and I have no idea. What I love in particular when you showed me this is the parallax section. And it's got so many facets to it, but this where you can custom set the speeds of each of the parallax parts.
Well, this is right there at the back. I'll sort of get it moving, but not too much. And these all start to move a bit faster.
Very cool.
I think what we want to do today, Kev, is we've got this nice new level you've been working on. We want to get that in.
Yes, the ice level, yes.
I'm just shaking the rust off. It's been quite a while since I've had any time to work on anything Amiga. So we've added, one of the updates, we've added a bit more detail there. A longer split.
Yeah.
Try and we want this bottom one to go a bit faster.
It's interesting if this was reversed, as in I use this tool, how I scroll the elements. I mean, I know when I design these screens that I do sort of think, well, that would be slightly faster, slower than this, and it's kind of a stepped. It's got its own variable parallaxes within certain areas. So the red lava in the background might have its own little speed thing going on, and then as the foreground is with the purple and the blues, have its own little set of parallax speeds, as well as the foreground of the top and bottom of the sky and the rocks.
You tell me how I'm doing, Kev. What should I do?
I think you had it pretty well when we first did this then. So, can you make the screen slightly larger? Where you can, I'm actually, where am I looking? I'm looking on. Yeah, cool. I think this is the most common thing that we tend to share at the moment, isn't it? This particular level, but I think I'm the happiest with this one I have all along, to be honest. So it's kind of lucky that I have to come back to this one as my gauge for other levels.
Yeah, it kind of set the standard pretty high, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And every time I think of these levels, because it's fairly repetitive, I often think that we should have more levels where the levels are probably slightly, maybe the slightly, well, they won't appear shorter in the sense of, you know, not as long as say R-Type or some of these other shooters, but you got more variety of the landscape, so people don't get as frustrated going, I'm seeing this background scrolling every few seconds, because to me it actually doesn't matter. You don't really look at it. To me it's kind of bird colouring stuff going on in the background where you concentrate on killing the bad guys. So I really love it. So I love that. I love that feel of that. But I don't think we've talked about that, but we've got one level at the moment that's similar to a classic sort of R-type level, that it's not looping like this, where we've got, how many screens is this? Two,
Yeah, this is the
640 pixels wide. Yeah.
what you see there. The yellow is your essentially the Amiga screen.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is huge. It's huge. It's awesome.
Yeah, we can drill right in there. So about that scale is what you're looking at when you're on the AGA box.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. There we go. It's about it.
So this on your end, and this probably really speeds up things where you've got nice simple sliders. I'm sure it took a bit of time to put it all together, but for at least every other level, that you just pretty much slide things up and down rather than. And you can see the beauty of this stuff. What I love is that you just see real time.
Yeah, and that's, it really helps you develop because it allows you to iterate quicker. So you put all this elbow grease or brain muscle into building the tooling, and then you burn that time. Well, you don't really burn it. You utilize that time to create something that makes the rest of your time a lot easier and a lot less painful. Going in and tweaking each of these splits by hand in code over and over and over, your eyes start to boggle, and you're looking at it and you're going, I can't actually tell if that's any different or not. But just being able to, just very quickly turn data around, see it change. It's awesome. And I'm all about tools, and my career is all about building engines, game engines, and working on game engines, and building tooling and asset pipelines and things like that. So I always get sucked back into making the tools whenever I sit down and make a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most of what you see in Boss Machine can actually be built in this tool. There's sprite editors, there's frame editors, there's animation editors, there's level editors, cinematic editors, which we haven't even really looked at yet for Boss Machine. Lots and lots of different things. Yeah. So what I'm going to try and do is just get this level exported, and again, shaking the rust out because I haven't done any Amiga stuff for about a year, almost, since last Christmas.
So you've been pretty busy, hey? I guess lots of people trying to hide in the shadows in the sense of, I mean, I'm always busy myself too, but I'm sure you're busy with real work stuff as well, and family, other things. But
yeah, well, this year we've shipped. I was working at a place in Sydney called Immutable. They're a Web3 company, and they actually make some really cool tech on Ethereum. Anyway, I was working in the game studio side of things, and we built out a Web3 game. It's kind of like one of those action. It's like an RPG growth game. So you grab these heroes, or these guardians they're called, and you level them up, and then you can merge them. And this is where the Web3 stuff comes in. Merge them together and make them more powerful and progress through harder and harder dungeons. Almost like an idle clicker, except you've got all the strategy involved in it. But anyway, so that's kept me pretty busy. We did 2 demos through the year. From nothing, we started basically with a blank slate. Did 2 demos and did really, really well on them. So it's absolutely buried me all year. So it's good to have some time now to do some stuff that's. I mean, that was great fun, but do some stuff that's personal fun, not corporate fun.
yeah.
But yeah, super busy, super busy. And that's the thing with these games. You always, you want to do it, but you got to feed the family and etc. etc.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, it's a nice, kind of nice that we can do a live stream that, and people probably don't know that, but this is probably this is our real live conversation that we haven't had for a little while for various reasons, but it's pretty cool just have a chat.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll have a burst of time where I go, right, that's it, I've got to get into, so I get distracted with other projects, so I go, I always keep thinking of boss machine, and every now and then I go, right, that's it, I've got a day free, and I'm going to just put my head down and work hard on some bits. Even if you don't need to, even if you don't have time to work on it yourself, it's like, because you'll have those moments where you go, I've got half a day, I'm going to have a bit of a coding session or something. But, it was kind of nice, kind of window of time.
I think the last time, Kev, that we actually had a chance to do anything, we were working on that last boss. I think I saw on your Patreon you released a video of it. I think you did a year in review or something like that. There was a video. It's worth checking out. All the stuff. Oh man, you talk about busy. You're saying I'm busy. How much did you have on that Patreon? You've got your fingers in pretty much every Amiga Pi there is out there.
I stopped because Matthew with Amiga kit. I mean, this is the information now, but I was trying to help with the block of it. But I said, Matthew, it's getting beyond that I can do concepts, but actually don't. I just don't have the real skills that for him to have do that. But I can do my stuff, things other than they try and help in whatever way. But you try and just have me. Well, I don't know. I'm still learning, So I want to do the types of jobs. But yeah.
You're always modest, Kev. I just see we've got Eric in chat says hello, Eric. This is Scorpion Engine, right?
Yeah, it's Scorpion.
Oh God! Anyway, I'm talking about engines. Talk about engines. How good is Scorpion Engine?
Eric's still here. I know. I often look at it. Go, I'm going to just try and create some game assets that somebody else Scorpion games, and it might be an 8-bit version of some other, and you hope that someone else. I've tried Scorpion, and it's a lot of fun to use. I think it requires a bit more time and effort. You just got one project then.
I mean, every engine, everything takes work. There's no, well, not yet. There's no magic button that you can press. So I'm just fixing a few of our levels actually, Kev, because with some of the changes that I've made, I guess, sort of in the background. 1, 2, 3. Over the last year or so, I've managed to break all of the levels. Is that for that lava one that we're looking at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I'm doing is just trying to get a few of them working again. 8, 9, 10. This one here, I don't know if people will know the story of this, but it kind of evolved out of the very first level Kev ever made for me. So there's a video way back, of that level, and this is kind of like the modern version of it. And it's actually like my favorite level because it's
This one.
yeah, the parallax is just super. You can really do cool things with the parallax on it.
Well, see, this was one of the I really wanted to focus on, and not always, but that central gray pole, and it's tempting to tweak it slightly so it's more obvious as a thing. But I don't know if I've actually seen any of the enemies where they slide on the pole. User, the player gets so used to that idea that okay, watch out, it's just sliding back now, sliding forward. All of a sudden, it changes behavior and snaps off the pole, and all of a sudden, then that gives that sort of freakiness to the player. Going, holy crap, how for this thing? It's because it's released itself from it. You know, it's no longer pinned to it. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's
yeah, and that's the thing. You can do
I,
cool things like I know you always talk about having these vertical kind of enemies that sort of go up above and below the player and capture you. So there's that level there, just freshly imported. You can see actually the way you capture. Top. There's that level in UAE at the moment. No scrolling. No, we don't have to have scrolling. Oh yes, I forgot about this. There you go, sneaky peek.
And you get surprised with coding.
Yeah, I forgot. This was going into level 1, which is level that's now, and this that enemy. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Kev.
Well, I think at least for my end of desktop, talk. Okay, let's know, the objects that can that string. So it's about ending things, and you know we might fine tune a little bit where
Oh,
as
well.
it moves. Yeah. So as it moves forward, it might have that. It sort of drags the outer pieces further back, you know, so it sort of stretches out like a plane wing. But it's nice to see it in motion though, because it got a lot of objects on that enemy. And I know in the other days, Dan, we talked about where if you don't overlap mobs, have that, you know, potentially slows it down by redraw where it overlaps that sort of stuff. So I don't know how you work. Cool to see.
Yeah, that's right. The blitter has to do more work if you've got essentially mobs overlapping each other. So by not overlapping them, they're cheaper. So we do some tricks here. Like obviously we'll draw the largest parts first, and then the smaller parts second. So when they do overlap, it's drawing less. I think with this one, what like when they're fully extended, they're not overlapping.
Yes.
And as they come in, the ones that do start to overlap, they actually turn off, so they're not drawing when they're behind it. So they're not just like sitting there, not visible, but causing a bunch of blitter time. I'm about to export this new level. Export.
Which is a great way to sort of be mindful of is when we try and design certain animations. Yeah. I word it, but it gives you a bit of insight in how to try and make it efficient. Oh, so this is the default parallax now. You haven't actually tweaked any of the levels.
So I'm actually, because I killed them all, I killed all of the levels by making some data changes. So all the old data was no good anymore. And the only one I resurrected was level 2, which is the lava level. So I'm just going through now and just bringing the others back to life. So while we're sitting there talking, using this editor, I just set all this scrolling up. It's still pretty basic. To bring this guy. Oh, that's it set up there. Do you think we should change this? I mean, it's pretty. You can see from here, there's not much of a curve going on. But I really like we're talking about this level, like just by changing the speed of this parallax, and we all know about this about parallax. Different speeds make it look like it's closer or further away, right?
Yeah.
But I really like to be able to pull like this middle bar and have it sort of sitting up around. Like here, it's like far away and it's hardly moving, kind of thing. But
Yes.
speed it up, and then it's like running. It feels like it's coming up closer, so it's probably about where these are. That's my mouth. Oh, yeah, you can see
What
my
is
mouse.
it? Isn't sometimes you think that it's close to your eyes focusing on it that it might be slower, but because I was looking at it thinking, what makes it more believable? It's a bit of an optical illusion because you've got so many other layers playing tricks with your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
yes,
Kev, you know, I'd love on this. There's one thing I'd love on this level. If you see this one, this layer, this row, and then you've got this row, that row. There's 2 rows there. It's almost like this one's redundant.
Right, yeah.
There's a little one there. But I'd love for this one and this one to look more the same, because there's a different contrast difference between these two.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it's hard to make it look like it's this, yeah.
Top almost like the style of it, and lift it visually, maybe make
something like
that. Change the texture a bit so it looks very similar. Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, that's because it's a little bit distracting as it can be.
Yeah. Like I guess when you get picky and you look at it, I like to sort of get them balanced. Those two.
Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, I'll note that down. I'll do a little on that one because that's the little things that make the big difference. So that this particular level that makes sense because it's got a bit of top end looks like it's got a bit of a spiral fades off. And if we reverse that on the bottom end, that might help emphasize the central whole.
Yeah, and then we could probably get rid of this one. Thing.
Yeah, might play. Yeah, look at the differences. So okay, cool.
What I usually end up doing is just with this one here, just making it scroll with the exact same speed as that one below it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right, I'll save this and we'll bring in another level. Export. Okay. Stop.
How many levels we've got now, Dan?
Well, that's level 1 and 2 working again. We've got level 3, 4, and 5, which I'll do super quick. Bring those in now. Chuck this up there. You can sit up there. Aha, this one. Yeah, this one hasn't had as much love as I think it deserves. What is this, level 4?
Yes.
Level 4? Level 3? Level 3.
It didn't look too bad though. It didn't look too bad for your first sort of first version of it. But I always look at the very far background thinking it's too big an area to scroll, and I haven't quite, because I quite like seeing a reasonable amount of information in the far distance.
Mm-hmm.
and I probably could try and tweak it slightly more, to be honest. I could probably put another layer either above or below just to soften that. But
It's such a nice looking level, and I think this one is really different to the others. I mean, the sky's still the same kind of look, but this area here, we've got such a much bigger area between
yes,
top and bottom, and I think that's great. And I think particularly if you go back and look at some of the um, sort of OG horizontal shooters from back in the day, they would often have very large planes like that. Like if you look at Thunder Force 4, particularly that water level, they have the background, big, huge mountain range. It's all sort of at one distance. Then a lot of the PC Engine games too, they have it as well, and it really gives you a setting, right? Like it's a city, and it's kind of it's an alien environment or something like that you can sort of it'll tell a bit of a story to you. So I think it's harder to get right, I think, but
yeah.
also very cool. And this is a big level. If I'm actually having trouble fitting it on screen in the editor,
Okay.
that's all good. There it is there. So, for some reason, we're not getting any scroll. Is there? That's fine. There we go. I was actually want to have a quick play. What happens if you do this? Get dizzy, maybe?
You know what you need? You need every time you do these random settings, you go click save, click save. You need like multiple save this version, because then you might tweak and go, oh, that version 3 steps before this actually was pretty good.
Oh, you have a
So
history.
it doesn't have a history of you. There's more time, Dan, adding into.
Well, most of the stuff I keep in source control, so I can actually roll back. But yeah, when I'm iterating, it's gone. Once that's doing my head in. I'm not. Inverse parallax. God.
I don't think we've ever talked about this, but it reminded me when we just finished Reshooter Proximity, and
Brilliant game too, guy. What guys? Well done on that.
yeah, Richard was the team members well, but Richard really, really, really it's what I like. Yeah, the scrolling and suddenly reverse. I thought nice in boss machine.
Absolutely.
Definitely credit you, and I don't know how easy, for example, if we and then suddenly scroll backwards.
We can scroll backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it.
Like I mean, there might be just, you got this really big battle character, and you go, okay, now I need to, I don't know, play the scrolling differently because it's a big battle, just to change it up a bit, but change the tempo. That was very clever. And Richard had a lot of clever things in similar for sure.
Richard is one of those dudes. He's all about the detail and making his version of awesome. And that's pretty awesome. Hey, Kev, there's one thing hit on this. Maybe you can tell me this track here, this split here.
Yes.
Is it meant to be like a ridge? A block?
Yeah, like it steps up.
It is meant to step up. All right, so that means this one should be quite a bit faster, right? Once we should jump.
It should be slower, but try it. But it's certainly got to be more in sync with the objects above it, the splits above it. So it should be similar speed. what I call the dirt background color, and I guess below it, rocky sort of floor rather than the bright red lavery coloring. It is a bit of a tricky one. I've tempted on tweaking that edge so it's more distinct.
So yeah, I've always had trouble tuning this one. This is what I'm saying. It's like it's super interesting, but it's a hard one to get right.
Yes. Yeah.
So that transition point, if we let's work our way down. How do you like the speeds of sort of this? There's another block there, kind of too, isn't there? Bring that down, and there's that one, and then that keeps pretty close. Mind void.
Mind void.
Hello, mind.
It is tricky, and I'm looking at it from the point of view. Then I think when we did this in the past, where we don't want to force you to turn a bigger screen a bit now, but oh, you know what it is. Oh well, that's better. It's all right. I just had my separate screen, the YouTube feed. It was on a low resolution.
Just smashing out some levels for Boss Machine.
Yeah, it's getting close. I think the part that I'm looking at the moment is the bottom part. Sort of bubbly rocks there. I'm just trying to think if it should be slightly slower right on the bottom 2 or 3. That's
Are the bubbly rock ones?
yeah, I think the brains of those 2 distinct spherical sort of areas, they look like they're the same speed, and I'm just wondering if absolute foreground, the bottom one should be slightly slower. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be a different speed, whichever it is, just to give that stepping, but it's
Let me go back to the editor. Do up there. Can do zoom in a bit. They're moving pretty quickly.
yeah.
So how about we slow it all down?
Yeah, well, I think that's a great idea actually. Oh, that's another feature you can add on the editor, and then have a percentage of where it slides it all.
Already got it. That's that one. Super speed 10x, and we can go down to 0. Obviously, times it by 0 does nothing. Then
yeah, because the slower one gives you a bit more time to see. The event you're seeing, that's quite.
I'll get it to Amiga size, so you've got a
slow, silky sort of smooth.
yeah. And that's the thing, they don't have to run fast. Like most of the levels run quite quick, but they don't have to. I still feel like that's maybe not enough.
Got a question here, Dan. Mind Void was asking if you got the sub-pixel scroll implemented.
Yes. 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 Fmod 3. subpixels gone. You can't really see it on the YouTube stream because YouTube, I guess. But yes. Did I get the subpixel? Mind Void. How you doing, man? It's good to see you, Colin. Good to see you.
And I just both cruising and having a chat together. We haven't talked for a little while, so we forced ourselves to do a live stream. That's how we communicate, and we do a live stream.
That's how all the cool kids do it these days, Kev.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm tweaking these scales again.
Yeah, so this little editor, I guess I'm trying to say it's control these scroll speeds of each of the parallax splits.
This one
Yeah,
is
see see those spherical sort of shapes down bottom having that different speed. That's good. And then I don't know if you noticed, but the latest level, the ice level, I'm trying to be more mindful of adding things that sort of connect to the background a bit more. So my thinking, some of the enemies, we might slow the scrolling down a fair bit, where it might even stop actually, where you sort of pause and go, okay, well, we've got these enemies, and then something happens, and then my scroll or something. Trying to attach things to part of the landscape if possible. It's not strictly what we have to do, but I've allowed it enough.
That sounds good.
So that, things that might be tricky. Because one of the things I noticed when I started adding, when I had this scaled enemies or bosses going in distance, you could imagine, of course, if you're at a certain Z plane, that of course if there's an enemy further back or further or forward, it's not possibly going to shoot at you directly, so it might not be convincing. So it's that, okay, what do? We scale the bosses up to a certain level so that you know it's in the same place to shoot. You know? You're
Yeah.
supposed to be playing games, Dan. You're supposed to be playing
Sorry. It's a good game. Sometimes I just sit here. It's like I'll have a coding session. I'll start playing, and I just sit there playing and playing and playing. I'm sure when you're making a passion project like that, it happens to a lot of people. But I was just looking at some things I forget. Like there's this dual fire mode, and when you're playing on like a multi-button joystick, like 4 or 6 buttons or something, got more functionality available to you. So when I fire here, I sort of move around at super speed, and I can hit this button, and I get a lot more granular movement, which is not great for this boss because he comes at you pretty quick right there. But for some of the the dodging bosses and bullet hell areas, it's super good. But anyway, so I think I'll leave that one there, and we can always come back and tweak it. I'll move on to the next level, which is level 4 is the interesting one. That's the one you were talking about before. Let's have a look how it's looking right now. It's probably dead.
I'm gonna have to do a tutorial, Dan, of when I was working on the ice level. You get moments where you go, how am I going to make this split blend into each other, but also being mindful that the very first horizontal line is a solid color. So I haven't actually posted this, how I come that now, but I think I've almost effectively how to hide that solid color and still have the splits depending on what you've got. So I need to share that somehow.
Sorry, I'm in what the hell am I doing mode. I just took a look at level 4. The level 4 is probably the most complex level we have. I've got, I think it's maybe in a bit of limbo. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. Level 4, I don't think.
Alright, give me 1 second, then I'll be back in a second.
Level 4 is not in a good way. Go to level 5, see what we got there. Ah, yes. This is also one of my favorites, Kev.
Yeah, I like the crater one. It's reasonably bland at the bottom part of the crater, but the focus was the crater sort of plane, but it, you know, never know, it might sort of tweak it for cool need. I think the colour though, depended on making it more of a darker colour under the rusty craters, but it wouldn't take too much to change.
For some reason.
This is the lot of fog on this level. There's a lot of fog, grey fog.
You've got a fan. Yeah, this level.
Oh yeah.
This level is one of my favorites too. I really love the water at the front. It actually looks like the Loch Ness or something like that. But you know, it looks like water. It looks like waves. It looks like ripples. It's got the reflections going on.
Yeah.
The craters. I think the craters look incredible. The cracks. It's. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, something I do with this one. That was I should always dig up the. It's amazing how different variations of these designs, and then you come up with a. You have all the bad versions or the slightly better version, and that you hopefully don't show to the public. There you go. What was I thinking?
What was I thinking?
All the changes.
Let's have a squeeze here. Okay, I'm gonna export this because I think this one's completely broken. So let's just take.
But of course, as you know, Dan, that I mean, there's always inspiration from all the other games that you've ever looked at or played, or it could be arcade, could be PC Engine games, could be Sega games. So there's always these inspirations. I can't remember what this was, but actually, it might have been something like Whizball or something, where they had all these grey craters on the background.
Oh, now you say it. Yeah, of course. That, yeah. They were grayscale in Whizball though, weren't they? Or a tinge of blue or something? Oh, fantastic game. Alright, I'll do a super quick on this. Then, Kev, I think we should try and bring in that new level. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Alright.
Yeah, so let's see the new one. How easy or hard it is to implement now that you've got your engine.
I'm going to stop breaking data every time I make changes to the engine. I break with data to tweak it in. So I'm not even really going to try. I'm just going to do a super linear ramp on these parallax speeds, and we'll come back to them again later. pretty good, doesn't it? Oh, I think I've gone. This is the back here. Here we go. Nice. Right. That. Have a quick look see, then we'll bring in the new one.
Yeah, so even with this level, I was quite surprised how you can still hide those solid copper splits because you don't actually see any of the lines in the it all blends in.
So actually, Kev, I was having a play around something a little while ago. I'm not exactly sure when. I'll just see if I can bring it in, just for the giggles. Level, I think I'm doing level 20. Yeah. See how this looks. Export level. Giggles are good. Mind wide. We're going to have to catch up again soon too. Come past.
I know we look pretty good, don't we? So we try and do that. I was going to say New Year, basically, hasn't it? Because there's so many things to do now. A few things on.
I keep crashing. I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. Debug stuff. Alright, skip level 20. I'll give you a quick look just what I was playing with. There's this awesome arcade game. It's a I wish it was a twin stick shooter arcade, but it was like more like a 4-way shooter, but it could have been a great twin stick shooter. Graphics.
Colin was just asking about that last level, so we're going to saying that we're going to build that soon. Last week, showing a few things.
This one out, Kev. To bring that down. That. Bring rockets up the top. This is a level I was putting together.
Oh. Wow. I remember that game.
You're it, yeah?
I remember looking at it. Someone else playing it.
It's a fun game. It's brutal hard. But it's it's a coin muncher, arcade coin muncher.
It reminds me of like Vampire Warriors or Commando or something like that.
Yeah, it is like them, but it's so much better. So much better. I mean, they're great games. Not to take anything away from them, they're awesome, but this thing just destroys it. Toplan, pretty sure was made it. So it's kind of interesting how I did it because I wanted to try and get each section, even though it's only one level, I still split it to try and get like 16 colors using dual playfield. I was trying to get 16 colors, never more than 16 colors in a split, so ended up having to split it into about 8 parts or something. Yeah.
There's a lot of colors in
that. Yeah. But I wish I could export it and show you, but I actually had it like you fly the boss machine ship up it. Anyway, just for giggles. I can't do that because it's not out, of course.
So if I reskin that whole level with our own art, you can show it.
Yeah.
How many colours in each of the splits did you say? 16?
Yeah, normal what we do. Yeah. I've got something else here. I'm not sure what this is. It's not going to load.
Well, if you send the assets, you never know, it might have a moment. Or something.
Oh, that's another level to another similar one. I think it's from the same game. Level 2 or something. Nice looking in.
Yeah, nice graphics, yeah.
Start down and it's got a timer, so unless you finish the level by the end of the time, you die. So it's always pushing you forward, and then as you push forward, it just keeps spawning more and more enemies, and you just get overwhelmed. So many come in. But you want to kind of stop, shoot them as they come, clear the path, but you just can't. You've got to charge ahead. Brutal. And then you can obviously fall into the lava and stuff like that too. All right, let's get your level going. So, have I got all the access to the latest art for it? Drop me a link and I'll grab it.
So version 2, the reason I
might.
did enough.
Oh yeah, thanks, Kev. I see it.
When I converted them to 16 color splits, and then you check if they're seamless, proper seamless. I thought I normally do that when they're on 24-bit. When you go to 16, it makes it more obvious, of course, because you see the jumps between the color palettes. So I just tweaked it basically. There was about 3 or 4 that needed tweaking.
Oh, shivers. What do I do? Download. So Kev, you don't need to convert them. Like this tool does it all, remember? You can just give them to me and it just will do an auto conversion to the best possible 16 colors. But it's fine. They'll be fine converted. You just remember it for next time, unless there's something really needs hand tweaking, you can just give them to me.
Now that's it's the very first piece. I tweaked a little bit more to try and get a bit more shading, coloring in it, because when it converts it in Photoshop, it varies colors. So this is pasted colors because they're so similar. So I'm sure if I spent a lot more time, get more color out of it, or is that fine line of how do you go?
I mean, you're always going to get superior results with hand picking the colors.
Yeah.
Source. I'm just going to basically moving these assets into the project. Yeah. So level 6 Kev. 21 splits.
Yeah, I think that's what we had for our very first level. It's always tempted, and I know that we can do a lot more splits, but it seemed to work out nicely when you think of, hey, when I start slicing up.
That's all good. Just doing a quick rename here.
Actually, down that particular level, when you look at it with the background mountains and then the distant mountains, it's got that too. I think I might do that with that red lava, that level we had before, where I might split it slightly so that it's got a bit of it's got a bit more movement like that, where there's just two pieces. Where we have that red abstract city thing going on in the background.
Alright, I'm just going to kill that. We're going to move to level 6 here. Let's bring this up. The fun part. So level 6, pretty sure this isn't going to compile. Nope. What I need to do, because we potentially have custom behavior in different levels, like Kev was talking about before, we can do, like, as a particular enemy comes on screen, we can stop scrolling. We can tie one of the levels to music. We actually have custom code, essentially, which runs per level, or can run per level. This is basically just a template that the game won't compile unless I've got the level 6 stuff included. Speaking of including, I'm sure there's people who are much smarter than me that know how to load all this at runtime. Okay, so no levels found. Let's go back to rockets. Content browser, refresh. Now we should have new levels in here somewhere. Level 6 back. Take a look at these. Create a new level project for 6. Currently empty. What we'll do is start bringing these splits in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, I think I messed up.
I was going to say you need another auto import then if it follows the name in.
16. $17, $18, $19, $21. Wow, Kev, what a nice looking level. Just bring this out and have a good look at it. Look at that.
I think the nice thing too is that because it's constantly scrolling, you see some reasonably distinct color changes, that it sort of blurs anyway.
All right, so background is here. Okay. I think these clouds will be fairly easy to get right. Where most of the work, I think, on this guy is going to be, we kind of just want to figure out how fast we want that front one to be going.
I know, how easy is that? Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Let's come together.
Yeah, I just want to do it.
Oh, Dan, I've got a thing that's slightly different about this level.
Yeah.
The very top level, I've been thinking that because I've made it fairly plain colours, you see the planet at the top?
This one, yeah.
It's going to be slow.
Slow.
Yeah, I'm hoping it will work where we just, every now and then you see the planet go by.
Like that? Slow, you mean?
Yeah.
And then what about the clouds? They're slow as well?
The clouds are fine, like that. The idea is that you have this background sky, no clouds in it really, and you've just got this planet that moves. In fact, I was tempted on adding 2 planets, and where it sort of toggles from a small planet to a larger planet and just scrolls. I don't know, I mean, we could remove it and put clouds there.
And slow it down even more.
Yeah. I think that's good, because once we start overlaying, and then missing things, that it won't be as much a focus.
Interesting. This is where you really wish you had another parallax layer overlay, right? Just drop another set of clouds over. I mean, we could put sprites up there or something. Do a bit of custom, like we're just talking about. We have this custom code per level, so we can do specialized behavior per level. And for every level, we can add or subtract from the copper list as well, so we can chuck in sprites or something to have something scroll over the top of the planet.
Or 8 colours, a lot of colours.
Yeah, just we can put something in there. Yeah, we can do a CPU blit kind of thing, and have scrolling over the top if it's just the top layer. All right, I'm gonna just quickly
function of the scrolling speeds? Are they floating point?
They are floating point in PC. Yes, they get converted to fixed point for the Amiga, so on the export, which is what I'm doing right now. They get essentially crunched down to. I think it's been a little while, Colin, since I looked at that bit of code, but I think they're 16, which is probably massively overkill for they are, but works. Yeah. So the precision, when you go from the precision that you see in this PC exporter to Amiga, some precision is lost. It's not a lot. It's mostly visible at really slow scroll speeds. You can start to see a bit of jitter, but generally we just avoid that by not doing super slow scroll. So level 6. Back out that. So now we should. No FPU needed. There we go. In game. Oh man, this could end up being my next best favorite level. I mean, we've only done that. Well, let's get this on the screen, this planet.
And one thing we can also do is let go underwater. Get the clouds above scroll, and then you've got the underwater.
This actually doesn't look too bad, Kev. Wait, what does the YouTube audience think? I think if we just get a little bit of something happening in this layer, just going over the planet, like we were talking about, it'll make it look amazing. And I think we can do that. Colin, along with it, every time I see one of the new Kev's new ones, they just turn into my favorite. Yeah. And I see what you mean. Yeah, you said you're like focusing on like moment to moment gameplay with the level, and I think that's really showing in this one. Like, that's amazing. I want to look at the Kev, I'm surprised, man. Like when you said I want to slow that top one down, I was thinking, I don't know if that's going to work. It's going to like mess with your head with the parallax, but it looks good. Yeah,
I think it will slightly separate. Right. I mean, this we could play with that a bit more to make it better. It's frozen.
No, it's not frozen. It's just we haven't tuned those yet. Oh yeah. Sorry, I missed it. All right, let's bring this back. So yeah, this tool here, I've noticed a few people asking about it. It's a tool I've built. I'm a engine developer, game engine developer by trade. I've built game engines that have shipped on consoles, PC, handhelds, pretty much the last 20 years. So I'm always fiddling with technology. And as I started building out Boss Machine, I thought, well, I'm going to start building a tool which will let me to do all the data. So it's really part of the reason why it's taken so long to do it. But it lets us do cool stuff like this now. I also build PC games and mobile games and console games, stuff like that today, and I use this tool in other ways. There's other parts of this I can't even see right now to build other. Yeah. All right, let's get this going. Kev, I feel like this one should ramp up quicker.
Yeah.
Another cool thing we have here is the mod replay tracker replay system that I use. It allows us to hook into those Pro Tracker events. Or I think they're like E52, 54, something like that, or E96 something. All the scrolling can be hooked into that. So when, say, Martin, who's currently doing the music, adds those triggers, we can have the background scroll speeds slow down or speed up based on what's happening in the music. Or we can also sort of pulse the color palettes as well based on the music. So if you want to get a little bit more of a like a electro, effect going on, or backgrounds flashing as with the beat, or with one of the channels sort of on the channel beat, we can do all that sort of stuff as well. It all takes a little bit of hand coding to decide what you want to do, but some of it's also hooked up just to triggers, so this will work. Maybe slower, Kev.
Yeah, I was thinking with the ice, broken bits of ice, they had some variation in the speed.
All right, so let's
every second one might be slightly faster.
Start here then. So if we slow that one down, and then do you mean variation like that kind of thing?
Let's see.
Oh, that actually kind of looks interesting.
Yeah, because when you watch real ice, they have, they've got weight behind them, or they, I don't know, it's different speeds, and then crash into each other, some collide into each other, but I'm not sure.
I think that looks pretty good, but maybe move it all down a bit. I do like the idea of if we can get away with it. Maybe these need to be.
Yeah. Because I think it'll give a bit of a unique, if we can get away with it, gives a bit of more unique look to the level if you've got all the different variations there.
Yeah.
Or something. Colin's got a question for you. Let's see. Yes, the very first horizontal line is first colour in the palette, colour 0 or colour 1. Because I don't know if we actually have any public videos, but we had the example where the copper couldn't keep up to changing the colour splits and it had that flicker, but there's then better, but the solution basically was making sure the first colour in every split, the very first horizontal line is 0.
Yeah, so it's changing. It's changing 16 colors, potentially 16 24-bit color every split. It's not always the case because often some of the colors will stay the same from split to split. So it's not always all of them. But worst case is it could be. And it's just over, I think it's just over one line. So yeah, like Kev says, the first 180 needs to be first, at least the first half thereabouts of the first line of a split to cover it all. When we use, Colin, when we use levels that have less than 7 splits, there's no cost, no real cost because we just change the color bank. So I just load, if I think it's 7 or 8 splits or 7 or 8 color banks. I just preload all the banks, and then when we flip to the new split, we just switch banks, and it's just one call versus having to go through and change every color. Only think problem I see with doing this, Kev, is it kind of feels like every other split is in time, and I'm having trouble making them not look like that. Yeah, that's right. So when there's more than, when I can't use color banks because I don't have enough banks, compute the deltas, yeah, the differences, and we just drop the ones that are the same. We change less colors. There is a problem with that, and it's due to the, well, not a problem, but a technical issue with doing that, and that is when, like, we scroll, when the previous splits colors might not actually ever get set because they might not be on screen, right? So if they're off screen, we just ignore them. They don't get drawn. Then nothing happens. They get updated, but nothing else. So there's a potential in that case with the deltas that there's nothing to delta against. So I have to deal with that as well. Now, slow all this down. Super slow. All right, I'm going to give this an export. Six. All right, let's take a look.
Nice to see it running though, it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it gives me a few ideas of if I start placing things on that big block of ice towards the bottom of the screen, probably need to have something where it's got little wheels on it where it sort of backtracks so you don't lose it. You've got to take it.
That's how we're looking. I'm going to bring this up. Yeah, over the top. Looks great like that. Really looks like the Arctic. Yeah, good to talk to you, Colin. Thanks for popping by. Doesn't look great, Dave.
And I think we first I put the stuff on the screen while you scroll in the background. So I mean, it's good to isolate it, of course.
Might have to speed that up a bit. It's just to the point where it's a little bit too slow. Export. We hope so. I mean, yeah, we're enjoying it. Kev, I'm sold on this level, mate, and I'm sorry. A great thinking with the parallax, like mentioned there.
Nice to have the clouds. That's a deal. I think it's just trying to go levels. What else would you put up there?
You mean above that planet?
I haven't done that star field actually. Nebula stuff. Yeah, not to tell. Big clouds are always nice.
I'll figure something out to get some sprite action going over the top of that planet. We can sort of layer some clouds or something over it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't think it needs much. Like just up to about here, right? Just a little bit of cloud to here, which so I could just get some sprites scrolling across here.
Yeah, you're
over the top of it, like it'll be the third layer sort of thing. Looks great. What do you think about that, Kev? You want to have any more tweaks? Clouds could maybe do with a little bit of work here. That curve's a bit linear if we went. Maybe like that. That's maybe too fast. Bring it all back.
It's always nice though when you've got it set up a certain way, then you do the diagonal slider speed that you've got down the bottom there, just to sort of suss it out.
As the ship comes in, speeds up, and she pops. Slow down. Then we can like, haven't really got it exposed in this tool, but we can do things like, you know, slow down the bottom, or just keep the top scrolling, or keep the bottom scrolling. So speed it up a bit from there. Let's go up to 1.
See, that's the thing too, is that some of these levels might lend itself to being slightly different speeds.
Go up to 2.
Yeah.
I feel like the sort of the ice parallax stuff we're doing works better going much slower.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really see ice moving.
Got a question in the chat then. Yeah.
Oh dear, I don't even want to answer that question. I'm like 3 years older than when we started, right? Or 4 years older or something. Too much time on our hands.
And just this sources of the maybe 1200, like 10% or 25. The rough.
What, the parallaxes?
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. It's not all. It's like to switch. We were just talking about that before. To switch the colors, there's a little bit of work involved. There's a bit of work involved in culling splits that aren't on screen. There's a little bit of work in the scrolling, but overall, it's not too bad. Most of the time goes on the blitter, like setting up the blitter and doing the blitz and figuring out how to make that work nice is where it all goes. Collision detection, like when we have a lot of bullets, like bullets and collision detection are painfully slow, which is really I'd say CPU, we're talking about 100 plus bullets sometimes. It just flogs the CPU. And then we've got to think about, with this game in particular, because the bullets can come not just from on screen, they can come from off screen. So there's potential to have a whole lot more bullets than what you see on screen. They still need to be updated because they have to move, even if they're not drawn. So it still flogs the CPU. But it runs at 50. 99% of the time it runs at 50, and when it doesn't run at 50, it's because we've done something silly and we've put too much on screen. So we just lower, we'd try and design everything around running at 50, like the fire rate's designed at 50 so we can hold 50, the amount of enemies we have are designed so we can hold 50. Some cases we can't design for, like if a player doesn't shoot a full wave, the next wave might spawn and there'll be a few more objects on screen. All right. Did you say you're 50 with a 5-year-old? 50 with a 5-year-old? Yeah, I feel your pain. I mean, it's lovely, but that'll keep you on your toes.
And yeah, of course, but we were talking about the unlisted bullet video that you've got. I mean, we can save that for another time, of course, but that was pretty cool, and it reminded me of new enemies that make use of that. We were talking about using that effect for brain effects or snow effects or these little bobs on the screen that are not enemies, but it could be a transition between another area. Remember the bullet thing that you had.
Oh, you want me to show that?
About. Yeah, if it's easy to show.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone's seen it. It'd be pretty cool.
Let me dig it up. Actually, I might bring that up, Kev. I'm gonna have to go myself.
I mean, we can save that for another time.
No, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. I have to go do some JavaScript coding after this. It's such a strange thing, like looking at assembler code. Like Boss Machine is 100% written in assembler, 68020 assembler, and it's like it's like jarring to go from it's this and then like let me see if I've even got it here to like JavaScript or even C++. It's like it just does my head in a little bit, and it might take me a day. To sort of refocus as I shift from one to the other. Anyway, I'm not going to bring it up. Yeah, I'll see you, Perhelion. All right, so Kev, it's getting late for me and I'm starting to slow down, so I'm going to find this video.
Thanks everyone for joining us tonight for a quick.
All right, let me add. Right, here we go. You're testing my ABD skills again, Kev. All right, let's go. Browser. Okay. We want to use. Okay. All right, ABD. Browser. All right, there you go.
You have enough videos now to go through.
You know, this video here, probably going to get off track here. This was actually one of my favorites because I did some work on getting the boss doing stuff. You could only shoot it in the eyeball. They're still using some of the Thunder Force and the Lionheart, Thunder Force Water, Lionheart backgrounds. I think Lionheart clouds.
We got a bit of grief.
Yeah, it's not a good. I mean, it's always good. It's just fine, but you can say 100 times these are placeholder. There's always someone that says well, that's not. It was placeholder. All right. So what are we looking for? We're looking for some.
It was the bullet.
Well, there's this one.
Bullet. Another one where we have.
Yeah.
Four type things, and it's spat a lot of orange.
Yeah. So this is a lot of bullets.
Oh, you got that too, yeah.
This is 60, 70, 80, 70, 20. I'll pop you the link.
A little bit crazy. I have to send that link to me.
Yeah, I just sent it to you. And oh, by the way, if you want to support Boss Machine, go buy Iridium. It's available on Switch and PC. So we made this, Kevin and I, and another lad called James. He's an Amiga boy as well. Iridium spell on the Switch, PC, Steam. Only cost you $10. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't think this is showing all videos. While you look for it, I'll put this guy on.
There it is. Yes, there we go. Okay, you want me to copy it to your. It's in our.
Drop it in Skype.
Yeah, it's in Skype now. Good way to finish off the stream. Pizza. That's a lot of bullets.
Indeed. So these are all running with collision. You can see that. It's probably the hardest, like we're talking about the worst part about so many bullets working is collision. You can reject a lot of them quickly. They're on one or at the other side of the ship. They're above or below the ship. But you still need to test them. Use some kind of spatial partitioning to again reject them very quickly. You pay an base intrinsic cost to have those sort of systems up and running. So we can get a sort of 100-ish running at any one time.
Very cool.
Hey, I know Roadrunner. Do you know who that is, Sam? I lost contact with him.
Cool down.
Who's this, Sam? Sam, pop me a message.
Yeah, just wanted to show this. Yeah. Bullet hell.
Maybe, what was that? Have you got the link to Daniel's video? Daniel's, the bullet hell that we saw. Geez, that's a good looking game too. This is why we're looking at the bullets. We want to see who can do more bullets.
Yeah. Cool. Send you the Facebook link.
Ah, it's a Facebook post, yeah. The real bullet hell. Real. Unreal. What's going on here? This is impressive. I'm been I love that weapon.
It's pretty impressive, eh?
Sounds good. I couldn't hear the audio before. Nice explosions. Got like 30 bullets on screen there, 40 bullets. There's a point up here, I think it's around now, 130, 140, 170. But no collision. No bullet collision. Get that bullet collision working, Daniel. Looks great. It's going to be a great game. There's always a good game coming for Amiga.
Yeah, cool. That's okay.
And he's written this in C. It just goes to show that these compilers these days are kicking ass.
I don't think we've seen any work from he's been working on something else, so it's so nice to see.
Oh, is this have you seen this before, Kev?
Only just today, yesterday, and something. Versions of this.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking great. And if you go back here, just to here, these backgrounds, like he's got the train coming out. You don't see that in a lot of games, shoot 'em ups these days. Well, you do see it. You see it in the pro shoot 'em ups, like the toe plan and the M2 shoot 'em ups. That sort of background behavior. It's awesome to see it. Again, it's thinking about moment to moment. Here we go again. Drops frames here, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, it's dropping frames there, but try to sort that out. That weapon sounds so good. Boom, that's a great sounding gun. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, there's that thunderstorm, Mind Void. It's just reached here.
Hi there. Do you stock USB drives? Probably.
Damn, we might have to close this.
Interesting approach, Ali.
Holy snapping. I got a thunderstorm. Sam, can you pop me a message? Xrunner.s. Yeah, kind of. It's a code you shared with me from the 90s. Sam, pop me a message on YouTube. I'll sync up with you. Sounds cool. That's awesome. All right, I think we're going to wrap, Kev. Bring that up. We'll pop this up to top again. There we go. That. Whoa, that was loud. My kid probably woke up. I'd share my email address in here, but probably don't want to do that. Wonder how we can sync. Do you know the Sam guy? MP?
I don't think we're in Facebook or some other. Because you want to forget, unless you just fill it out or type out the other.
So Icon Visual. Omega. Pearl? Use Pearl? From Pearl? Cydonia. Oh man, it's starting to stretch my memory. I think some chiptune music or something. We've got to figure out how to. We've got to figure out how to sync, Sam. I don't know. Let me think what I can do. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Good time ago. Funny that we're still doing this like all this time later, hey? Drop. Yeah, go to drop me an email there with like a text message with your phone number or something, and I'll send you a text. Textrunner.s. Yeah, that sounds like something I would have done. All right, Kev. Look at this level. What a way to go out. Yeah. All right, thank you all. Sam, I'll look forward to hearing from you. Mind Void, great to see you. Everyone else who was involved in chatting and came and joined, thanks so much for coming. Hopefully we can get another chance through Christmas to do this again, and maybe do a bit more work on this bad boy up here. We're gonna, yeah, we'll do a bit more tooling, looking at the tool and how it works, and we'll add a few different attack patterns to this guy, maybe some skinning or rigging on him, get some cool animations, maybe even some weapon attacks. Sweet. Thank you all. I'm out.
Awesome, Dan. Thanks, everyone.
See you, Kev.
Chat to you soon, mate.
Chat I will. Just kill the stream.